Hello, mathematicians. Today we are going to be working with money and coins. And coins can be kind of tricky. We're going to be working with three different types of coins today. We're going to be working with pennies and nickels and dimes. There are actually other kinds of coins that we could work with. There are also quarters, and there are half dollars, and there are actually coins that equal a dollar. We are not going to work with those today, just those three types of coins. So for today, if you're doing math, you're going to want to get those different types of coins if you can find some. And then you're also going to need your math journal and, of course, a pencil. Let's get started. Here I have a bunch of coins that I found in my house, and I have some nickels and some pennies and some dimes, and I wrote them up here: penny, nickel, and dime. And the first thing you're going to want to do, which is really good practice, is to sort the coins that you have. If you notice, there are three different types of coins here. I'm going to show them. The pennies are always very easy to spot. Do you know why? They're a different color. So pennies, super easy. Dimes and nickels get a little bit trickier. So as you can see, there is, and it's kind of hard to see on this screen, but the faces are different and the sizes are different too. And even though the nickel is bigger than the nickel is actually worth less than the dime. A nickel is worth 5 cents and a dime is worth 10. So as I just said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pulling out these coins. Again, to me, those pennies are pretty easy to find. So I'm going to put all my pennies there. My nickels are bigger, and then I've got some dimes over here. So you're just going to start out by separating the coins that you have. Now, do you remember how much a penny is worth? A penny is worth 1 cent. And when we're working with this in our math journals, the way we show a penny is we just put the letter P and we draw a circle around it. And pennies can be, 1 cent can be written two different ways, actually. It can be written with 1 and then a cent sign. And a cent sign is actually a C with a line through it. Or it can be written with a dollar sign. The dollar sign and the cent sign never go together. So if you want to do a cent sign, it will look like this. If you want a dollar sign looks like an S with 1 or 2 lines through it. It's up to you how you want to do that. And it's $0 and, that decimal point stands for and, 1 cent. Now, just like when we're talking about time, there's 2 spaces. There's 2 spaces with money too. So we're going to write 0, 1. And that's how you would write 1 penny. Nickels would be written like this with an N and a circle around it. And do you remember how much nickels are worth? 5 cents. So you could either write it with a 5 and a cent sign, or you can use the dollar sign. Do not put the 2 signs together. So a dollar sign comes first. Cent sign, did you notice, comes last? So you got to kind of keep all this stuff together in your head. I know there's a lot to think about, but we're going to be doing a lot with money this year. So you could put the dollar sign, and it's $0 and 5 cents. And they have to put 2 numbers again after. And if I put a 5 first and then a 0, what number is that? 50. So that won't work. So I'm going to put that 0 first. I got to practice that. So 5 cents would look like this. And then finally, I have my last coins that I separated, which are dimes. And dimes would look like this. You're just going to put capital D and a circle around it, and that stands for dimes. And then dimes are worth 10 cents. So I can either write 10 with a cent sign, or I could also write it with a dollar sign. The dollar sign comes first, and I have $0 and now I can just write 10 because that's 2 digits, a 1 and a 0, 10 cents. So these are the different ways that you can count the coins. And then you can start counting them. Now, pennies, pretty easy to do. You've probably been doing them for a long time. So if I count how many pennies I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pennies. And that would make 13 cents. Now here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nickels, but that doesn't equal 9 because each nickel is worth 5 pennies. Check that out. So this is the same as just one of these, which is pretty cool. So I can count my nickels now and see how many I have of those. Remember how much they're worth? 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 cents. That's how many nickels are right there. So 45, that's quite a bit more. But wait, because dimes are worth even more. So there's a nickel. Now a dime is worth 10. So in order to get 10 pennies, I would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know how many nickels I would need to make 10? Let's count. 5, 10. Or I could just have one dime. And that's the same thing. So this is how I can show 10 cents with pennies, 10 cents with nickels, and 10 cents with dimes. Let's count and see how many dimes I have, shall we? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I have 90 cents there, or 90 pennies. Can you imagine having to carry around 90 pennies? So that's why the bigger the coin, the easier it is. And when we're counting with money, I want us to always start counting with the dimes. So let's start practicing and counting some different types of coins. Now this is where it can get kind of tricky, because if we have different kinds of coins that we're counting, I told you we want to start with the biggest number. I don't mean the biggest coin, I mean the biggest number, which is 10. So I'm going to take all my coins off and I'm going to play a little game. And you can play this at home with a grown-up that you have, or if you have a bigger brother or sister who knows how to count money well. And you're just going to take a little bit, some coins in your hand and set them down, and then you're going to count them. Now the first thing you do when you count is just like what we did before. We're going to separate them out. So again, I'm going to put the pennies together, I'm going to put the nickels together, and I'm going to put the dimes together. Now remember, dimes are worth how much? 10. Nickels are worth 5, and pennies are worth 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and count my coins out. So I'm going to start with here, 10, 20, because I've been counting by tens. Now I have to switch to 5s. So I have 10, 20. What's 5 more than that? You see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, and now I have to count by 1. So 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I pulled out 40 cents. And the way I could write 40 cents would be 40 with a cent sign, or the dollar sign with $0 and 40 cents. So there's 2 different ways I can write that. I'm going to do that one more time, even though you could play this game a lot of different times. We're going to do one more together. All right, so I'm going to grab a little handful. I'm going to set them down. And the first thing I need to do is I'm going to sort out those monies. So I'm going to put pennies over here, and I've got some nickels here and some dimes. Remember, you got to kind of be aware of the different sizing. So I have one, let's count this out now. I'm going to start with tens. So I've got 10, 20, 30, and now I have to count by 5. So I have 30, 35, 40, now I'm counting by ones, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. That's a lot of information, all these coins. Don't worry if this is confusing to you on the first time. This is something we can do a lot so that we get better at it. Because just like with everything that we do, if we want to become a better reader, we read. If we want to become a better writer, we write. If we want to become a better soccer player, we're going to be playing some more soccer. Or if we want to become a better piano player, we're going to be practicing. So we're going to be doing a lot of practice with money. So you could play that game over and over with your family and practice it there. I'm going to pop in on some breakout sessions and we'll see if we can do some money there. But don't worry, we're going to get better the more and more that we do that. So there's one other thing, because I told you not only do you need coins to practice this type of stuff, you also needed your math journal today. And if you open up to the second page in your math journal, you're going to see some coins just like this. And the first thing, again, that I want you to do is I want you to recognize what kind of coin you're talking about. So if you wanted to, you could even put those letters down below to remind you. Again, those pennies, easy. So I'm going to put penny and penny. Now the dime and the nickel get trickier. And these are the same kind of coin, but do you know what kind of coin they are? If you didn't know, you could probably look down here, because these look the same. Remember, the smaller one was that dime, wasn't it? So these are nickels, which are worth 5. So the first thing I would do on this page is go through and write what kind of coin they are. So what kind of coin is this? It's a dime. And this coin is a nickel, dime, nickel, nickel. And if you remember correctly, I told you when you're counting coins, you're going to want to start with the coin that is worth the most. And in this case, the coin that's worth the most is the nickel. And that is a 5. So we're going to count 5, 10, 11, 12. And so this is going to be 12 cents. Now I don't have to write the dollar sign, right? Because you only put one sign at a time. And they've already given us the cent sign. I'm going to do one more, and then you can work on the rest of this page yourself. So again, see, they've moved them around a little bit. That's kind of why I like labeling them below, because I want you to start with the biggest coin, which in this case is 10. It's a smaller in size coin, but it's the bigger in value coin. So I'm going to count 10, 20, and then I'm going to count these. 25, 30, 35. So this is worth 35 cents. Now I would love for you to go ahead and see if you can do these last 3 on your own, and then we will go over it at the very end of the day, or I will pop in a breakout session and ask you about that there. But it's your time to get some math done. So we're going to work in this journal, and then again, practice grabbing those coins, putting them on, sorting them, and counting them, because the more you practice, the better you're going to be. So have a great day, mathematicians, and I can't wait to watch you grow. Have a great day.